keep living Texas of awesome.
Incoming transmission.
What is up, adventurers? Welcome to another Sunday in the shop. It is Sunday. I believe it is August 30th. Summer is approaching its climatic end, and we decided to do a Sunday in the shop to kind of refresh some Hunters of the Unknown stuff, go over some upcoming things, some announcements, and whatnot, and just generally hang out. So, yeah, that's what we're doing tonight. Should be a really fun one, actually. And most importantly, we're going to drop the last prize for our Hunters of the Unknown giveaway. So, I think it's going to be super dope and cool. We don't have really anybody in the chat. I guess we got one. All right. We got Robert here from out in Vegas. What's up, bro? Thanks for stopping in, man. I can't wait to see what Robert's got going with his Hunters of the Unknown story. If it's anything like Dead Radio, it's going to be top-notch, trophy, Oscar-worthy stuff. So, like I said, tonight we're just going to kind of go over some stuff. I want to kind of rehash the Hunters of the Unknown contest for everybody who doesn't really know what's going on. Maybe you're new to the channel, but beforehand, we better pop a beer. I don't drink beers very much anymore, but it has been a long summer. So we're going to pop a beer tonight. We're having a Headhunters IPA from Cleveland. The only good thing out of Cleveland, I think. The Browns are a terrible football team, which is the way I like it. As a Steelers fan, don't hold that against me. But anyways, we'll have a little bit of a beer tonight as we hang out. Tim Cope's joining us. What's up, my man? Thanks for stopping in. Always appreciate you stopping in to the channel. So, like I said, we got a few things to go over tonight. First off, a little bit of housekeeping stuff. I am no longer, for a few reasons, but we'll talk about this. I announced, I think, on my last What's in the Shop, which was my last What's in the Shop. I'm not going to be doing What's in the Shop live streams for a while. We're taking a break. Primarily, one of the reasons because school's back in session. And now that my son's in second grade, it's going to take a lot more of my time because we got homework and a lot of other stuff. We become more an active role in school and everything, which is, normal. As I hear him upstairs screaming and yelling about something. But also, I really enjoy the What's in the Shop. I enjoy the sit downs and doing them. Everybody who's ever come on the show, I've had an absolute awesome time talking to them. I've done, I think, a really good job of picking people to talk to that hopefully you guys all out there have gotten to know and really enjoyed. So I really enjoyed the What's in the Shop. However, it's just a lot of work. It's hard from the standpoint of getting everybody's schedules on the same page, and then trying to pick a night of the week that works for everybody is also difficult. And it's at the end of the day, it's the juice really isn't worth the squeeze. Like, all the time that I'm spending to try to do that show, it doesn't really do anything for the channel. Not that I'm worried about growing the channel, excuse me, in that respect, but it's a lot of work for a lot of nothing in a lot of ways. The best part about it is I get to talk to people, which is great because I love to talk to people for an hour or two. And that's going to be the bummer about not really having the time to do the live streams for a while. But we might bring them back. Special occasions on like holidays or whatever. But honestly, the other reason I have soured on them is, man, I've had a lot of great guests, but there's been some people who have flaked out on me, put me in a bind on the live streams, which kind of pisses me off. Obviously, I take time pretty serious because I don't have a lot of it. And when you get something scheduled with somebody and then they kind of flake out and either they don't show up for the live stream or they tell you like a day in advance that they can't do it or they don't ever answer your messages, it just pisses me off. And also people that don't have great internet. Um, I understand maybe that you don't have great internet, but let's be honest, it's 2026, man. You should have better internet. So either way, it's something that I really enjoy doing, but we're not going to be doing moving forward for a while, if ever. We'll just have to wait and see how that goes. So we still will be doing live streams on occasion, like What's in the Shop Live and Sunday in the Shop. I've got a few of my top fives left, but I don't know when we'll get to those. So anyways, that is what's going on with the What's in the Shop live stream. So moving forward, we've got some other stuff to talk about. Let's go ahead and start with a little news. I don't have a lot of toy news, or if any, tonight. Let's see who else jumped in the chat here. We got Mr. Murray Corrigan coming in from Canada. Hey, Murray, thanks for stopping in, buddy. Appreciate it. Hope everything's going well up there. Don't have a lot of toy news. There hasn't been really a lot of stuff come out lately that I've really been interested in. To be honest with you guys, the toy industry is just kind of a super bummer right now. And like I go to Walmart, you know, or Meijer, my grocery shop, and I'll stop in the toy aisle. And the toy aisles are just a complete mess almost everywhere you go. There's hardly any figures on the shelf, and the ones that are on the shelf are ones that you're really not interested in getting. Everything seems to be super high priced. Everything's it's hard to find a lot of stuff. Like, you know, scalpers will come in and they'll buy up all the figures, and then you'll see them at an antique mall or a resale shop like a week or two later. And it's just a weird time to be a toy collector. And also it's just, I've gotten kind of soured on it because it's like, you see all the different toy reviews, a ton of toy reviews for new toys. And I get it, but I'm like, it's hard to find anything. And I'm not going to go chase down stuff. Like I know, like recently I noticed Mattel announced a WWE figure, Danhausen, which we just started watching wrestling again. My son loves wrestling now, so I've been watching it with him and enjoying it. And we love Danhausen. I think he's an interesting character. And I noticed that they were getting ready to make a Danhausen figure. And I'm like, cool, you know, I'll find that at Walmart or somewhere. No, it's a freaking exclusive on whatever. And I'm just like, I hate exclusives. I hate chasing toys. It's annoying. I'm tired of tuning into YouTube and seeing somebody review an action figure that I can't find. And it's just like, it's the modern toy industry right now just sucks, to be honest with you. That's my opinion. So that's kind of what I've been really messing with vintage stuff, because it's easier for me to find it. I get more out of it because I can find like a Shogun Warrior here. I can restore him, repair him, and we can enjoy the process, and then we can play with him. The toys now, I don't know, just you can't find shit. And I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's the tariffs, China. I don't know. It's kind of a weird time to be a toy collector. So that's just my 2 cents. Anyways, so a little bit of toy news. Not really news tonight. This last Thursday, Cos, Sarah, who's been on my show, as well as Rick Bradshaw and Angelo D'Annabelle, all got together to start a brand new live stream. It's awesome. If you guys haven't checked it out, it was on last Thursday. It's going to be on every Thursday, I believe, moving forward. And it was really fun. Those guys, I think you're going to have a really great show. I think that the three of them really work well together. I enjoyed watching it. And I hope that they have a lot of success with this new live stream. They're on Thursdays, like I said, at 6:30 Central. This is their one from last Thursday. And it was a lot of fun. And I think it's great because I think a lot of these three guys are into the 112 stuff a lot. I know Rick and Angelo are doing a lot of it, and Cos is starting to get into a lot of the Valaverse and some classified, as well as a few other lines. So I think they've got they want to kind of a carve out. I don't want to talk for them, but it feels to me like they want to kind of a carve out a show where they can talk all scales and really bring their passion to their live streams. So definitely give it a follow. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I told them both. I told them to make sure you limit Angelo to like 100 words or less. Because I'm just kidding, Angelo. I know you like to talk. There's nothing wrong with that, man. Anyways, my good friend Felipe Sikorsky, or Sorotsky, sorry, I named him after the helicopter. Sorotsky, or otherwise known as Luca Porbanicas down there in Brazil. Felipe is on a new adventure in life. He is moving from Brazil to Israel, and he is selling a lot of his collection, and he wanted me to pass the word that he's selling his amazing collection of Dynaman. He's asking $350 for the set with shipping, tracking, insurance. And if you're interested in these, definitely reach out to Felipe either on Facebook or Instagram. He's awesome. I'm sure you guys could talk out and work out a deal if you wanted to. But Felipe is selling off a lot of his stuff as he starts a new chapter in his life. I asked him if he was going to be doing customs and whatnot, and I'm pretty sure he is, and he's just going to kind of start over. I know he's gotten rid of a lot of his stuff, and I think he's going to a place where he feels he has a great opportunity to start over and make a lot of awesome stuff. So let's all give a big shout out to Felipe and wish him well. But if you're interested in these Dynaman figures, definitely give him a contact. So I follow a lot of people on Instagram. I know more of you guys that are starting to move over to Instagram and enjoying it. I know Rick Bradshaw's having a lot of issues with Facebook recently, which I find it odd. Facebook's been kind of kicking him off the platform or censoring some of his stuff, calling it spam, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, Rick, but I've had some problems with YouTube lately with censorship, but we'll talk about that here in a bit. But I know a lot of people are moving over to Instagram, which seems to be a little bit better for photo taking, in my opinion. But this guy here, Cold War 6 Scale, is somebody I follow, and he does almost a theme of a what if the United States and Russia actually had some battles during the Cold War, and he does it with 6 scale figures, and all of his customs and figures are amazing. These are the Russian Spetsnaz troops right here that he did, and they're just absolutely beautiful. So give Cold War 6 Scale a follow on Instagram and check out his photos if you don't. He does a fantastic job. You can see another one here. It's got some more Soviet-era ground troops. And then this is a really great picture of a G.I. Joe Snow Troops from the Classic Collection. He has all different types of manufacturers with his 6 scale figures, and they're all really, really great photos. The guys are great photographers, so definitely check out Cold War 6 scale. You guys recently saw my mail call where I got some really cool stuff from Mr. Chris Henry and also my good buddy Roberto Acevedo out there in California. But Chris told me when he sent me the German tank commander figure that he was moving over to Real American Hero inspired 6 scale figures. You can see here, I wanted to share a few of his photos. Get a drink here. I wanted to share a few of his photos and show you guys some of the amazing creations that he's come up with. He's a brilliant customizer, like top notch. This is Tunnel Rat, which is really cool. He's utilized a Chow Yun Fat head, which I think goes well. And that cool Tactical 60 right there. Beautiful figure. This was going to be Wild Bill. For some reason, when I did the presentation, something happened. So his Wild Bill's great. I'll just let you know that. Here's his dial tone. I thought his dial tone was absolutely fantastic. I believe he sews a lot of his own clothes, if I'm not incorrect on that. He does 3D printing as well. You can see he's got dial tones packed there, as well as a nice tactical rifle with a red dot scope. Great job on the dial tone figure. And I believe this is Lady J. He has one of those hot 6 scale female action figures everybody has. There's a Flint right there next to him. I don't know if that is the Flint from Sideshow Toys. His figures look so good. You don't know if they're the Sideshow Toys Real American Hero versions or the ones that he's made, which means that he does an amazing job customizing these figures. And then here's some other stuff on his desk that he had going on. You can see he's got a Cobra Commander, it looks like, or some type of head sculpt there. It looks like I don't know if that's a Dr. Venom head sculpt he's making. He's got a couple of Cobra Vipers, but Chris is really cool. I was blown away when he sent me the German figure. It's always odd. I mean, it's weird for me when people reach out, they're fans of the channel, and they're like, hey, I'm going to send you some stuff, because it's just like, I don't ever know what to say. I always feel like I got to send something back, you know, but I will definitely try to compensate him for that stuff, as well as Roberto's stuff as well. So that's about it as far as the news goes. Not a lot going on in the world of toys for me right now. I've got a lot of really cool videos coming here in the next few months, though. I will let you guys know that the ski pole, when I dropped on Friday, has done really well. I think it's almost up to almost 600 views or something. So I got worried when I saw that. I'm like, holy shit. Hopefully people enjoy the video and not going to sit there and pick it apart. Because I'm my own biggest critic when I do these videos, because I have a tendency to do them quick. I don't show probably as much as what I could, as far as Toy Polloi or Tinker Toy Tim or those guys, because I don't have an interest in doing that. I just do what I want to do and try to do it the best I can. But I've got some great videos coming up, though, that I think you guys are really, really going to enjoy. There's a few lulls in there. I can't throw all the cool stuff out at once, because I got to kind of spread it out. So right now is the first time in a long time that I don't have videos in the chamber for months in advance. So I'm having to go back to making videos on Fridays while my son's in school, which I did this week. I actually did a Hot Wheels or a Matchbox Land Cruiser review, which is pretty funny. I'm going to do some more car reviews, because I really enjoy doing the car reviews, because I like talking shit about cars. So, and I enjoy the Hot Wheels and the Matchbox ones. But there's some smart alecky stuff in there. So if you're one of those people that gets butthurt really easy, you probably don't watch the car videos, because they're pretty funny, in my opinion. But I've got a lot of cool stuff coming. I know that Hunters of the Unknown, a lot of these videos coming down the way are predicated on Hunters of the Unknown. So you're going to get the actual Hunters of the Unknown photo stories that we're all going to be hopefully dropping October. And then after that, I usually drop how I made certain things in that video. So that's going to be really fun. I think you guys are really going to enjoy that. So that's what we got right now. I also wanted to talk about this real quick. My bros, the Man Cave Volume 2, I guess apparently they're going to be moving. Dan reached out to me and let me know that they're going to be moving to Wednesdays in January 2027. So that should be pretty cool. So if you're going to tune in on Mondays, you're not going to find them. You're going to have to tune in on Wednesdays. I'm assuming the same time. Dan's going to be hopefully, Dan and the boys are hopefully going to enjoy as much success as what they did on Mondays. We'll be looking forward to Dan's AI chick and her fat rack sitting there talking to everybody, whoever comes on the show. Hopefully he makes a new intro. But yeah, I do enjoy the intros for the Man Cave. They're pretty funny. So that's the hardest part about doing videos, I think, is doing your intro. My intro's been the same forever. It's only changed 3 times, and I don't plan on changing this one. It's stuck the way it's going to be. So I'm not trying to build this channel into anything more than what it already is. It's already too much work for me right now. So before we get moving on, let's see if there's anything else I wanted to talk about. I think I've covered a lot of stuff. Oh, right now we're entering the spooky season. So I've been going to a lot of these stores and checking out the Halloween stuff. I know that Lowe's currently has the 1/6 scale articulated skeletons in several different colors. So if you guys are wanting those for dioramas or photos or whatever, I guess Lowe's is the place to get those. I'm not sure how much they are. Everything seems to have gone up in price. I did manage to grab a few of the small lockers that Jerry Gonzalez posted. I went and grabbed a couple of those at Walmart. They were $10 a piece, so I plan on maybe doing some 3D print stuff for those, trying to incorporate them into a future GI Joe headquarters I want to make someday. And that is about it. So I wanted to talk real quick about censorship. I know everybody deals with it in some capacity, whether you support it or not. I do not support it in any way, shape, or form, unless it has to deal with, really dark web type stuff. I'm not going to talk about that because I think we all know what I'm talking about. But I don't support it on any social media platform at all. Being an American, First Amendment's pretty important to me, and I think everybody should honor that, especially if you're getting tax money or government assistance as far as your platforms go. But that being said, I've come into a recent issue with a photo story that Adam and I are doing together. That is our Operation Corpsewood. It's a really cool concept Adam had for a World War II story involving a man of action. And I came up with my story and I got it all done. I spent a lot of time on it. And I uploaded it to YouTube, and YouTube censored it. I can't get ad revenue off of it because it has what they consider to be offensive context. Basically, it's a story about blowing up Nazi scientists, and apparently you can't talk about Nazis or anything on any social media platforms or YouTube anymore because they're trying to just paint that like it never happened, which is ridiculous. My grandpa fought in World War II, and it's fucking mind-numbing that a bunch of dorks out in California or wherever these guys are, Google. I won't even get into it. I think everybody knows just how I feel about it. Just stupid. So I'm still going to put the photo story out there. It's just going to be it's going to be limited. So it's probably going to be kind of downcycled and maybe shadow banned in a way. So probably not a lot of people are going to see it. But that being said, it's the way it is. Gunfighters get shot. But I do want to share with you guys a small clip of this. Now, this is going to drop the 24th of November. I think it's a great photo story. And I think when you guys watch it, I hope that you understand my anger and resentment towards YouTube and the platform for this kind of shit. So, and this is not the first time I've been bitch slapped by YouTube about stuff like this. I'm to the point now where I would like to know it's probably AI. A lot of people's like, oh, it's AI, but I actually sent it to a human for review, and they upheld what the AI found. I like to fight that person. I mean, who knows? Maybe they are black belt in jiu-jitsu or something and kick my ass, but I wouldn't mind fighting them right now. Anyways, I wanted to share with you guys a really cool clip from my upcoming photo story. This is my Operation Corpsewood, the Knights of Wotan, and this is a short clip I want to share with you guys. So let's check it out.
Achtung, Soldat! Warum sind Sie nicht auf Ihrem Posten? Haben Sie sich verlaufen oder was?
Relax, Major. I had to make sure it was you.
All right, there you go. So that is our uh, clip from Hunters, or my whatchamacallit, Knights of Wotan. I was like sitting there trying to get everything kind of put back in order here. But that's my clip from Knights of Wotan, my Operation Corpsewood entry. We're doing a two-parter. So mine drops the 24th, and I believe Adams is going to drop the night of Thanksgiving. I think it's going to be super awesome. This is probably one of my best photo stories. It's not super long, but I've combined a lot of really cool things in there. I think you guys are really going to love. So I know Adam has been working on his as hard as he can, but right now it's so hot in Arizona that he's not able to go outside and do a lot of stuff. So I guess that's what happens when you live in a desert, right? So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I think these ones we're doing here, these back-to-backs, are going to be our best ones we've done. This is our third collaboration together, and I'm super excited for you guys to see it. I know this time I told Adam to go first, and normally I told Adam I was going to go first. Normally he goes first and I followed up, but this was his concept and he came up with it, and I think it's brilliant. So he did release a video several months ago. It was kind of an AI generated video of his Man of Action to I think Where Eagles Dare from Iron Maiden. So it was a really cool video, but it was kind of a prelude to this photo story, if you will. So I think it's going to be great. Maybe that week, or maybe sometime around the holidays, preferably after that story drops, Adam and I can come on and maybe do like a live stream together over the holidays and talk about that, as well as a bunch of other stuff. I would really love, speaking of that, I would really love to get all the guys from the Axis of Awesome together on a live stream. We haven't done it for a long time, and I know our original core group, we really came together during, COVID time, and a lot of us had a lot of free time, and we really applied that free time to build a really cool group. But unfortunately, when everything kind of ended, we all kind of went back to our lives. Everybody kind of did different things. Like I know Pat had an injury, which he's still battling. I wish I could figure out a way to help him with that. Of course, Major Tom died. And some of the other guys, I know Cody, he's got kids like me, and you get busy with kids. And Adam started working on an Airbnb. And then I know Tom Hansen, he's kind of lost a little bit of the desire to do YouTube, which I understand. I'm there too sometimes, but I'd love to get us all back together and kind of just talk about the hobby and everything and where we're all at right now, because I think a lot of us need that to get together and like kind of reminisce about the height of the Axis of Awesome, which is probably, in my opinion, during COVID, when we all came together and we were all doing content and we were all having a really good time going to each other's shows. But life just catches up to you sometimes. So I wish all those guys are the best out there. I watch all their videos when they do post, and we're always going to be the Axis of Awesome. And I hope I see stuff from those guys for the Hunters of the Unknown. I know Tom's. I hope he makes something. He was going at it hard, and then he just kind of petered out. So I want everybody to make something for this Hunters of the Unknown and kind of get back into it, and maybe get all those guys on a live stream at some point in time. So if you guys are watching this, let's do it this coming fall, hopefully, or winter. We'll see. So speaking of Hunters of the Unknown, we'll get to the chat here in a few minutes. Let's just go ahead and jump in the chat now. Of course, we had some other people jump in. I believe, let's see, Chuck Churiaco. Yeah, me for president 2028. Oh, my God. I couldn't even imagine. Ugh. Hey, there's Pat. What's up, Pat? Yeah, we'll have to get together. We all text quite a bit. We'll try to figure something out. I really would love to get everybody on and talk. So anyways, again, I appreciate all you guys jumping in tonight. This is great. Sunday at 6. It's a weird time, but it is what it is. So one of the reasons I wanted to do this live stream tonight is I wanted to kind of go back over Hunters of the Unknown for people who might be new to the channel. And I've had a lot of people reach out to me over the last several months asking me about it. Like, what's this Hunters of the Unknown contest? And I always send them the original YouTube video I did talking about it. But tonight we're going to go over the presentation one more time just to kind of drive it home. So here we go. Whoop, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Here we go. So this is our Hunters of the Unknown presentation I did several months ago, I believe back in January or February. But this is the 2026 Axis of Awesome Challenge. Those you guys who, hey James, thanks for joining me, man. Thank you very much. It's going to be a great photo story. So a couple of years ago, I was sitting down and I was kind of, I was talking on a live stream with Pat and a few of the other guys. And this is the last time we all kind of got together. And I thought, would it be cool if we did like an anthology series or like a giant crossover where we come up with a common theme and everybody tells a story. We kind of molded around and I kind of beat it up and kind of shuffled it around and figured out it'd be cool just to come up with a concept and then let everybody run with it. And that's how we got Curse of the Golden Skull, which I think was really fun. And I think a lot of people had fun making it. We had a lot of great stories. If you haven't checked it out, you need to get on my YouTube page, and under my playlists, there's a whole bunch of, it's Curse of the Golden Skull playlist. There's a whole bunch of videos on there. And I put a hashtag to it. So I think if you hashtag Curse of the Golden Skull, it'll bring up photos and a bunch of other stuff. But it was really successful. So I thought, let's do it again. And this time, let's do one with creatures of myth and legend or whatever. And that's where we came up with Hunters of the Unknown. I was inspired by a photo story or like a commercial or an ad for a fictional TV series that I was going to do for Jim Largo. Back when Largo was really posting a lot, and he was really active before he became a bar owner and whatnot. Hey Largo, hope you're out there watching. But I'm still working on your camouflage too, brother. So anyways, Largo didn't ever end up doing that. So I had this cool, I wouldn't say cool. I had this commercial thing I made up, and I thought I needed to do something with this. So I came up with Hunters of the Unknown. Of course, I put it wrong in the title block here. It's Hunters of the Unknown, not Hunter of the Unknown. So what I came up with was a premise for creating an original photo or photo story or stop motion or whatever around cryptids, monsters, aliens, or mythical creatures. That's what I want people to do. You don't have to do a full-length photo story. You can do photos, you can do whatever, but you must use action figures. You can use any of the 3 scales, 6, 1/12, or 1/18, or even Super Joe scale, which is, I believe, 1/9, and or Mego. It can involve any genre of G.I. Joe or other iconic adventure characters like Big Jim or the Adventure People or whatever. Maybe the Agents of Omega, which I know Rick Bradshaw is probably going to do a 1/12 one. Maybe Angela will as well, since she's doing a lot of 1/12 stuff. So AI is allowed, but please don't overuse it. What I say by that is don't make a whole AI video. I mean, I don't mind when people do that, but it's kind of defeats the purpose of what I want you to do. I know we could argue that, well, this is art. This is me doing that. I understand that. But I kind of want you to get out and play with your toys. So I would use AI as an accent, more of like if you want to take a photo and you've got like a car in the background, you can use ChatGPT or Grok to remove the car and add a different background in the back. But don't make a completely AI video. I think it's lazy. I know people do it. I know people enjoy it, but it's just I want you to get out and be creative with your toys. That's the whole point of these. I use AI in some stuff, a lot of thumbnails. But for the most part, I try to keep it as in the rails as I can, or on the rails as I can. So, like I said, it should be an accessory and not a primary tool. So I know there's a really cool Falcon channel on YouTube I follow now, and basically he goes out and takes the photos and then uses an AI program to animate them. I like it, but also I don't like it because it's still taking the photo and manipulating it a bunch to where it doesn't really look like the original photo he took. You know, I love what like Random Old Geezer's doing. If you guys haven't checked out Random Old Geezer's channel, that's like the mountaintop of creativity to me. So yeah, I think everybody understands what I'm trying to say here. So pictures can be posted to our Axis of Awesome Facebook page. If you're not a member of that, definitely try to join the page. There's a lot of really cool content on there. If you have a YouTube channel, you can post your content to your YouTube channel. I would really love to see that. If you don't have either Facebook or YouTube, you can email me your photos, video, or whatever, and I will figure out a way to share all those with the rest of the community. So don't worry about that. You had from January to September 30th. So here we are right now. We're getting ready to start the early part of September. So I dropped this in January. So everybody who hopefully has had all spring and summer to do this. I know a lot of you guys are probably waiting until the last moment because that's just how you are, and that's how a lot of people are. I am not that way. I am a person who starts on it the minute I announce I'm going to do it, and then I spend the next 6 or 7 months doing it. No, not really. So I would like everybody to start posting their photos or stories. You can start posting in the last part of September, but all throughout October. I will try to keep track of all of it. Make sure you tag me if you're posting it on Instagram or Facebook so I know, because it's going to be important that I know that you've done it. And you'll see why here in a minute. So the month of October is going to be lit, I think. It's going to be lit. I think this is going to be a really fun anthology series. So when posting photos or videos, please use the hashtag Hunters of the Unknown. It's important that you use that. It's important that you use it because what that does is when you use that hashtag, if you're not familiar, hashtags kind of link everything together. So if you hit that Hunters of the Unknown hashtag, it's going to pull up all the different photos that are associated with it. The more people use it, the more the algorithm is going to pull in all those photos for everybody to look at. So you can also use my Skunkworks Studios and Axis of Awesome if you want as well. I would prefer that you use all those, but it's up to you. But please use Hunters of the Unknown. So it's very important that you do this, and don't forget to do it. The tags are important. This part here is incorrect. I have actually corrected this since then, but originally there was going to be 2 winners. A photo entry and a photo story entry, but we'll have 3 winners actually, and we'll talk about those here in a second after this presentation's over. But this will be a drawing, a random drawing, so everybody who enters, I will make sure and keep track and write your name down. And then, of course, like we did last year, I have 2 guests that come in from the end of the world. If you guys aren't familiar, the Wizard of Candy, he lives at the end of the world next to the Baba Yaga in her Chickenfoot house, and he lives in a 1,000-foot oak tree with Sam Hain and a few other old bachelors. But the Wizard of Candy usually brings in one of his friends to help do drawings. So if you're not familiar, if this sounds completely crazy, you think I just dropped acid or something, you need to check last year's live stream, and you'll know what I'm talking about. So we'll have a drawing that will draw the names of the winners, and it will be done by the Wizard of Candy, who is a staple here, a Halloween staple here in Paris. And so it'll be entertaining, trust me. So we'll do a random drawing, and that'll be how we choose the prizes. So good luck on this. Create the original content. Limit the use of AI, please. Of course, you have right now September, all of September, to do your photo or photo story. Submit them in October. Use the appropriate hashtags, and it'll be, instead of 2, 3 winners will be drawn at random. So let's talk about the prizes. This is the most important part, and I think this is why everybody's come to the dance. And I think this is the best part about doing this, is the prizes. So last year, I gave out some cool prizes out of my own collection. This year, I'm going to do the same thing, and I've come up with 3. So I've come up with 2 prizes that are 1/6 scale, and 1 prize that will be done for all the guys who enter into the 1/12 scale. So hopefully, I'm planning on several 1/12 scale people entering. If in the event that I get like 2 1/12 scale people, we'll change the game a little bit. But the first prize for the 1/12 scale is going to be this really cool Rock-On Trailbreaker bike that I 3D printed in OD green, and it comes with the 2 crates. The Agents of Omega figures not included. That's my guy, but I wanted to put him in the picture for scale. I 3D printed this myself and put it all together. I've tested the scale. It looks really good with this figure. I actually printed a couple of these and sent them to Ed Action Figs for him to test out, and he loves them. He's done some really cool photos of them. So that is the first one. This will be for anybody who does the 1/12 scale stuff. This is going to be great. So I think you guys are really going to like it. I made the crates as well, so it's really cool. I'll grab it here and show it to you guys in live. So here it is right here. It's really cool. Like I said, it's all 3D printed. The wheels spin. It's got a kickstand. It's got these 2 footrests that are kind of movable. I had to design these because the original 3D print file didn't have those. But I also designed the brakes for the handlebars. And this is really cool. So it's all in, like I said, OD green. And I think it's a really cool little bike. So it's going to be really fun. So you don't want to miss it if you're a 1/12 guy. And then I got my crates. I shrunk those down to 1/12 scale. The tops pop off. I've got my Skunkworks logo on the inside. So you'll get 2 of these OD green crates to go along with your Rock-On Trailbreaker 1/12 scale bike. So this is a good reason to enter the photo contest if you're a 1/12 scale photograph person, because I know there's a lot of you guys out there. So like I said, I printed this, and I'm going to give this away. I'll ship it to you. Whoever wins, I'll pack it really nice, and I will ship it to you, and you can play with it to your heart's content. I will tell you that these little brake pieces here are they're not super fragile, but they're fragile. So you got to be really careful with those, that you don't break those. I actually changed the design of them a little bit to make them a little bit stronger, but it's just the way it's going to be. So that is the first item that you guys are going to be getting. The next item I have debuted as well is going to be this 1/6 scale Rock-On Trailbreaker done in Adventure Team Orange. This is a behemoth. This is a big bike. So this is a lot of hours of printing and a lot of filament. So again, on my own dime and time, I'm going to be giving this away to one of the winners of the drawing, and I will ship it to you as well. And this is a really, really cool bike. Let me show it to you right here. This thing, let me pull this off. This thing is a behemoth. This is a monster. So I bought the filament just for this bike. And it took me a while to print it, but wheels spin. Of course, I designed the brakes and the kickstand and the footrests. And this is absolutely awesome. So this is going to be another one. Again, whoever wins, I will pack this real nice in a box and I'll ship it to you. I know you guys in the foreign countries are probably gonna. If somebody in England does win this, we'll figure it out. We'll see if you do want it. I just wish the world wasn't so dumb. I mean, how is it that we live in 2026 and we can't ship shit? We can call people on the phone, text, live stream, but I can't ship anything to another fucking country without breaking the bank. It's ridiculous. You were shooting down $35,000 drones with $3 million missiles, and I can't ship this to the UK for under $50. You know how dumb that is? It's fucking dumb. So anyways, there we go. You're going to get this as well. This is really cool. It was a real bitch printing this because I had already printed a couple, one for my son and one for myself for my Hunters of the Unknown photo story. And then Bamboo had a firmware update, and then I couldn't get part of this to print correctly. So I had to go back into my Tinkercad and readjust everything because of the stupid ass firmware update. So anyways, that is going to be the next one. And then those are Rock-On Trailbreakers for anybody who's new to the chat. They're really cool. Look them up. They're super dope. So the next is the next unveiling that I've been talking about for a while. I think you guys are really going to like this. This is the third prize. Whoop. Right here. We're going to get this cool short sleeve out. You're going to get the whole figure. You're going to get this whole figure. It is a print that I got from Spoonflower. What I did, I took some pictures of that old 1970s tiger stripe. I used ChatGPT to recreate it. I got it printed on Spoonflower and had my mom sew this really cool outfit. This is a one of a kind. I will never do this outfit again. You're going to get the boots, the pants, the shirt, and you're going to get a Cotswold Elite Brigade body with one of my resin Scarface Joe heads. So that's going to be part of the prizes as well. So those are the three prizes. This is a great looking figure. Let me grab him. So here he is. You can see the Scarface. This is a resin cast head mounted on a Cotswold neck post. I flocked it myself, painted it, and then you've got this really nice, almost recreation of that vintage 1970s G.I. Joe Defenders tiger stripe in a short sleeve shirt. I added the buttons to kind of give it a weird retro goofy 70s look, and I think it looks great. Pocket pants with the pleats, and you get a set of Cotswold collectible Combat Joe style boots with it as well. But this is the figure that you're going to get. This will probably be the first prize. The Rock-On will be the second prize, and then we'll do the 1/12th one. So that is what we're doing right now. I love this guy. This is one of the heads I had left over from the lot of heads I made this year. So I just decided to do a figure and then put these clothes on him. So this is great. I got a fat quarter of this. I didn't know how it was going to look. We sewed the outfit up, and I think it looks really, really cool. So this is going to be a one-of-a-kind guy. So if you're on the fence about doing this, hopefully these prizes can kind of help you nudge yourself along and get going on this. I know a lot of people talk about, I'm going to do it, and then fucking September rolls around and you're like, I don't want to do it. I'm like, dude, you've had literally a whole year to do this. So hopefully if you're on the fence, these prizes will help you overcome your anxiety. That being said, so we have shared a clip of the Operation Corpse Wood, the Knights of Wotan. And now you're going to get a special sneak preview of my Hunters of the Unknown, the Creature of Pikes Creek. It is done. I probably should have led with that. I just finished it up a week ago. I've watched it 5 or 6 times to make any kind of adjustments I needed to make. I think it's an awesome photo story. It's probably the best one I've done. It comes in at around, I think, 26 minutes in length, but it's super fun. It's got a lot of it's a love letter to the 80s. It's got a lot of cool stuff in it, and I tried to make it as dope as I possibly could, but also keep it grounded in reality in a way. I took 2 different photo stories that I kind of had scribbled out, and I combined them. And I had a lot of help doing it. But yeah, this is awesome. So it's going to drop October 31st, which is a Saturday night, 7 p.m. And here is my sneak preview of my Hunters of the Unknown, The Creature of Pikes Creek. So get ready.
Good God! Easy, my friend.
Works every time.
What the hell, Eagle Eye? Were you just going to let that beast maul me?
Oh, calm down, Mombi. You know I wouldn't let anything happen to my best tracker.
There you go. So that is a special sneak preview of my photo story, Hunters of the Unknown, The Creature of Pikes Creek. It's going to be awesome. It's a lot of fun. I like I said, it took me the majority of the year to do this one. I started on it probably right after the Mystery of the Ice Ape. Like I also said, I combined 2 different photo stories I was going to do. I also combined a couple of custom projects that I was currently working on in various phases of completion. And I just put it all together into one, what I hope to be one of my most successful photo stories. And I think you guys are really going to love it. So it features a lot of cool items from a lot of my friends, Andy and Indy, Sean Huckster, of course, Chuck Choriaco, Greg Brown, Cotswold Collectibles, as well as 3D print stuff. And it's great. It's really cool. I will tell you, the creature in this story is going to be off the hook. It's a wild creature, and I've got a video that's going to drop after the Hunters of the Unknown story about how I made this thing in a roundabout way. It's kind of a shitty video. It's kind of a shitty. I wouldn't say it's one of my best videos in showing how to make stuff, but I think you guys are really going to enjoy it anyway. So it's going to be really fun. It's the first homemade creature I've made since I would say my Wild Man of Kathmandu, where I made my own Yeti. So this is another one that I made. I guess, I can't remember if I made some other creatures. Maybe I did. I don't know. Anyways, it's going to be really fun. So you guys are going to love it. And I can't wait to see what everybody else is going to do too. Because I know there is some absolute bangers coming. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So and now right now we're trying to kind of figure out my original intention, I talked to Adam about this, was to maybe next year get the whole Axis of Awesome group together and kind of me pass it off to like have somebody else come up with a theme, and then I'll just put together a presentation and we'll keep going from there. But I don't know. We'll see moving forward. I've thought about a couple really cool concepts, but I need to bounce it off some other people. I'm not sure what to name it. So we'll see moving forward. So I really hope you guys enjoy it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I know I wish I had more time to go on other people's shows and talk about it, but I just don't. I don't have time to do live streams during the week anymore. So anyways, tonight we do have a top 5. Like we do with our What's in the Shops. Well, we do have a top 5, and as we'll go ahead and we will do this top 5, and we'll jump in the chat for a little bit, then we'll wrap this thing up. But our top 5 tonight, if you saw my YouTube post, is top 5 legendary creatures. These are my favorite creatures of all time, as far as ones that kind of scratch your conspiracy cryptid itch. And I think this is going to be a really fun top 5. I will be checking in on the comments as we do this to see what you guys are as well. So let's kick it off. So my top 5 are the Bigfoot, the Kraken, the Chupacabra, the Yeti, and of course the Dog Man. Coming in at number 5, the Dog Man. It's kind of weird. When I did this presentation on my MacBook, my PowerPoint did not fuck it all up like this is screwed up. So I guess when I uploaded it here to StreamYard, it kind of screws it up a little bit. We'll go ahead and we'll do it anyway. I don't give a shit. The Dog Man, the beast in the woods, resembling a massive wolf or canine. Dogman is one of America's most frightening cryptids. People describe encounters with an unusually large, intelligent creature capable of walking upright like a human. From the forests of Michigan to sightings across the United States, the Dogman has become a modern symbol of the things that might be lurking just beyond the edge of civilization. Dogman is one of those wild cryptids that I really didn't get into until maybe about 10 years ago. I know my brother is huge on cryptids and all this kind of shit. But Dogman's one of those wild ones because you'll hear about Skinwalker Ranch, you'll hear about old Native American lore. But Dogman is one of those weird, creepy ones. You know, and the worst part about all these cryptids is AI and the internet, because people will post fake videos which muddy the waters, so you don't know what's real and what's not real. In my opinion, it's the government or somebody that's doing it to kind of just discredit shit like this, which probably is real in some case or another. And I don't know. But Dogman's a really weird one. It's super creepy. Like, people who talk about Dogman encounters, I believe some of them, I think these people are just crazy, and then others, I think they're just trying to get clicks. But there's something unsettling about Dogman, and I find it to be a really cool one. I know Adam, G.I. Joe Lost Chronicles, has done a Dogman photo story. He used an existing action figure and created a really cool photo story for that. I can't remember what the name of it was, but I believe it took place out in the desert, and it was really, really good. So, Sam Shane, what's up, buddy? His wife totally got in the cryptids. He draws a lot of Dogman. Yeah, dude. There is something really unsettling about Dogman. It is almost like a werewolf. Skinwalkers, kind of werewolf-esque. So, yeah, Dogman's my number 5. Yeah, Tim, you're right. Skinwalker, in my opinion, yeah. I mean, it's the thing with all these cryptids like Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Yeti. Like, I think everybody has a different name for a lot of this stuff, but I think a lot of this shit is probably the same entity of some kind. Um, it's just like it's like tacos, right? Everybody makes tacos, but everybody makes different tacos. So I don't know if that made sense. So, anyways, let's move on to number 4. Number 4 is one of my favorite of all time. Yeti, or the abominable snowman. High in the remote mountains of the Himalayas, generations of explorers and local inhabitants have told the stories of a mysterious wild man roaming the snow-covered peaks. The Yeti, or abominable snowman, is said to leave enormous footprints and disappear into some of the most inaccessible terrain on Earth. Is merely folklore? Is it merely folklore? Could something unknown still be hiding among the mountains? So yeah, Yeti is one of the most famous cryptids of all time. I think it's one of it and the Sasquatch are one of the oldest ones that go back, generations. I think the Yeti is actually real, probably. I think there's something up there in those mountains. I think sometimes the locals also will make up stories because maybe they don't want Westerners or tourists to come in, or maybe they do want them to come in to kind of go on, expeditions and whatnot to make money. But I think there's something to it. I think it's probably real of some kind. I think it's one of the coolest ones. There's been a lot of movies and documentaries made on Yeti, or the abominable snowman. I did one of my best photo stories was the Wild Man of Kathmandu. It's one of my early ones. I had a great time making it, and I actually made my own Yeti, kind of loosely based it on the Yetis from Mike Mignola's BPRD comic book series, which look more cat-like than ape-like. But I really think it's an absolutely stunning cryptid. It's really cool. I've seen a lot of really cool mock-ups, and people make really cool costumes and mockets and figures and toys. And the Yeti is a timeless cryptid, and yeah, it's awesome. Oh yeah, we should. Yeah, I could do a whole channel talking about conspiracy theories. I don't, because everybody has a conspiracy theory channel or podcast now. And those guys a lot of the guys I listen to, they're like, that's their whole job. So they research everything. They're well versed on it. They have a lot of material to kind of support their claims, or whether it's real or not, I don't know, or whether it's legit. But I don't have the time to research. I would be talking a lot of shit, which would be awesome, but also not awesome, because I probably end up looking like a fool at the end of the day. But it would be fun. Like same time's right. It would be fun to have my own channel, or a channel with a bunch of guys just drinking and smoking cigars and just talking shit about conspiracies and cryptids. You would probably get a ton of views. We would probably also get banned from YouTube within a matter of weeks. I know I probably would. I wish you guys. I self-censor myself quite a bit on this platform. So I just do. Adam showed up. What's up, man? Adam's working on his Operation Corpsewood right now. I shared a clip, Adam, of Operation Corpsewood. I think you have to go back and rewatch it. I know Adam's already seen my video, so he pretty much knows what all's going on with mine. So yeah, Pat, not my favorite, but most plausible. Yeah, Pat's a big Bigfoot guy. For you guys who don't know, Pat, Lead Action Joe, go back through his catalog of videos. He did a lot of stop motion stuff. He has a Sasquad, and I know Cody from Poplox 4583 has made him some Sasquad gear. But Pat has a big, I think, a Sasquatch hunting vehicle, which is a behemoth. It's super cool. It's one of the cooler customs I've seen. So I hope we can see some more Sasquatch in the near future. Maybe we'll see some with Hunters of the Unknown. I hope so, Pat. Yeah, Montana. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, it's just weird. Like, you start talking about like Dogman, and you start getting into like dimensional stuff and portals. I just listened to a podcast this morning on portals and portaling and dimensions and all this other shit, and you're just like, it gets super deep and interesting. super deep and interesting. Beer, cigars, talking shit. Yeah, conspiracy theories. Yeah. Like I said, it would probably be a really popular one, but would get banned. It would definitely get shadow banned, I think. Oh, that's going to be a great one. You know, Robert's bringing the hammer for his story. If you guys don't check out, if you're not familiar with Max Dog Adventure International, which I'm sure everybody in here is, but if you're new to the channel, new watching this, get on his page and check out some of the cool stuff he's done. It's like next level. You know, Robert sews all of his own clothes. He makes a lot of his own weapons. He has a 3D printer now, so he's already mastered that. Like, it's absolutely fascinating to watch the passion he has for the hobby and all the other cool shit he's into, like RC stuff, Jumbo Machinders, and his Dead Radio story last year was awesome. He does all these voices. He uses a voice augmenter, but he does all his own voices, writes his own scripts, creates his own backgrounds. Like, he does all of it. He's like a one-stop movie production studios, and all of it's just beautiful. So you got to definitely check out Max Dog Adventures. And I can't wait to see what he comes up with for Hunters of the Unknown. So moving on down the line, number 3, the Chupacabra, or the goat sucker. In 1995, reports from Puerto Rico described a strange creature attacking livestock and leaving animals mysteriously drained of blood. The legend quickly spread across Latin America and eventually around the world. Known as the Chupacabra, or goat sucker, it has been described as everything from a reptilian monster to a bizarre canine-like animal. Whatever the explanation, the legend continues to thrive. This is one of the ones that I'm not really on board with, but I think the concept's really cool. I know Shadowbox did a series of small alien creatures back in the 90s, and one of them was a Chupacabra. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up on eBay. You'll see it's a little like pinkish red looking figure. Chupacabra is really interesting. I don't know whether it's real or not. Sometimes I feel like people make things up, but I'm sure people from that region, I know if we had Roberto, who's from Puerto Rico, or Edmundo in here, they might be able to really speak more to this legend than other people. Or we have some friends of the channel from, Mexico or South America. It's interesting because you'll get people from you'll get people from like here, me in the Midwest, who think it's bullshit. Then you'll get somebody who's from Puerto Rico or Mexico and be like, this is absolutely real. So it's one of the reasons why I try not to comment too much. Like, I don't really know if it's real or not because I've never experienced it. But if somebody's experienced it and thinks it's real, that's cool. I support you. That's why I don't talk about other countries, like shit going on in other countries, because I don't live there. So I don't talk about other countries' politics or anything because I don't live there. So I don't know what that's like, and vice versa. I always get annoyed when people from other countries talk shit about America. I'm like, you don't live here, so you don't know what is going on every single day. So same thing with conspiracies. Like, I've never had an experience, but I know people who claim they have. So Chupacabra is one of those weird on the fence ones. I guess it could be real, but it also could be complete bullshit. The thing about all these, if I had to say they're real, I would have to say has to be a supernatural element to all of them, or interdimensional, because you think you would see trail cam footage, or you think you would see a lot of other stuff. And I know there's a lot of people who poo-poo that and whatnot, but we can catch a politician, or you can catch the owner of the San Francisco 49ers hooking up with a prostitute in a trailer park in Ohio for $140 when we can't catch Bigfoot. I guess a billionaire. You should think if anybody's able to be discreet, it would be a billionaire, but maybe not, because there's a lot of dumbass billionaires. A lot of them happen to be running our country, in Congress, state government, everywhere. So we got a lot of rich people who are dumb. So I guess that theory doesn't really hold up. So, anyways, I don't know. Chupacabra may or may not be real. Who knows? But I love the concept of the goat sucker. It's great. This is one of my all-time favorites, and this is one, in my opinion, one of the most plausible. The Kraken, the monster of the deep. So long before modern ocean exploration, sailors told terrifying stories of enormous creatures rising from the depths and dragging ships beneath the waves. The Kraken became the legendary monster of the North Atlantic, a colossal beast said to possess enormous tentacles and unimaginable strength. But could ancient sightings have been encounters with a real giant squid? I think it's plausible. So it was something like 80% of the ocean is unexplored, right? 80% of the ocean is unexplored. So I don't think anybody really realizes how big the ocean is or how deep it is. And of course, we all of us take shipping lanes, right? When we ship items from one coast to the other, one country to the other, there's shipping lanes that we take. And they'll tell you that's because of the currents and everything else. That's fine. Maybe that's true. Maybe that's not true. Maybe it's because if you get outside, if you get off your ocean interstate, there's some massive shit out there that will take your ship down. Maybe we know there's some shit out there that maybe like we don't go into its territory, and maybe there's a giant kraken. I think it's believable there's a giant squid. There's too many tales, too many old tales of giant creatures like that. If you look at old maps have stuff like that on there. People, archaeologists who are a complete different type of idiots will tell you, oh, it's just, artist rendering and people being, creative, blah, 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 blah. I don't know, man. When you look at the Pierre Reese map and you see like an ancient map of the whole coast of Antarctica not covered in ice, and it's real, I gotta believe there's probably some giant sea creatures that probably were around and maybe still are, and we just don't go to where they're at. So I know it sounds crazy to some people. You're one of those people who's like an academic and you're a fan of my channel and you're watching this, you're like, Jeff's an idiot. Like, yeah, I am an idiot. And I believe a lot of dumb shit, but it might not be dumb. It might be real. So I don't know. I'll tell you this. I've seen a lot of shit over the last 10 years that people said was fake that actually turned out to be real. So it could be Kraken out there. I think it's believable. I think the Kraken is one of the more legit ones. I think giant squids, we've already proven that giant squids are real. And 80% of the ocean's undiscovered. I mean, our own government right now, if you believe them, they're telling you that there's a ton of UAP activity. I love how they rebranded it. UAP activity coming from the ocean. So that would tell me there's some shit going on in the ocean right now that we don't really know about, and we maybe don't want to know about, or we don't want to go near. And who knows? Maybe there's a giant kraken. I don't think there's a megalodon, though. I don't think there's a giant shark lurking out there, but I do think there's a giant squid. And that would be super cool, wouldn't it? And then coming in at number one, everybody's favorite, my favorite, your favorite, all of our favorites, the OG, the legend, Bigfoot, or the Sasquatch, the legend of the wild man. Deep within the forests of North America lies one of the world's most enduring mysteries. For centuries, people have reported encounters with a massive human-like creature covered in dark hair known as Bigfoot or Sasquatch. The creature has inspired footprints, photographs, recordings, and countless eyewitness accounts. Is Bigfoot an undiscovered primate or one of the greatest mysteries ever to walk the wilderness? I go back and forth on Bigfoot all the time. He's definitely the most popular. He's one of my favorites. Some days I think it's real. Some days I think it's bullshit. I think one of the worst things, like I mentioned earlier, about living today is AI and all the grifters out there on the internet who I think a large percentage of them are, I'm telling you, I think a large percentage of them are paid by the government to just put a bunch of bullshit out there to kind of discredit people who have legit Bigfoot photos or legit Bigfoot videos. I always like to say every day there's a psyop, right? And if you have a legitimate Bigfoot photo, or a video like the Patterson Gimlin footage, which I don't think it's ever been debunked. Why wouldn't you just put out a bunch of just shitty ass, grainy, crappy video footage and terrible actors and claiming it's real? Because you're just going to discredit everybody in the community and make everybody look foolish. And we've already seen this with Richard Doty in the UFO community, who worked for the Air Force Office of Intelligence, who basically fed false UFO information to a lot of these people that eventually became whistleblowers. A lot of them killed them, pew-pewed themselves, unalived themselves, as we like to say. And you just find out that the government has all these controlled oppositions in any way, in any of these communities. Like there's, I guarantee you right now in the Bigfoot community, there's tons of feds who work for either, whoever, who are putting misinformation out there trying to discredit people. And that's the worst part about all this right now is like, you want it to be real. And that's the worst part. You're like, man, I really wish it was real, but I don't know if we'll ever know it's real because I just don't think they're going to let us know. I think Bigfoot's interdimensional. It's my personal opinion. I think he's real. But I don't know. I always joke with my buddies at work because we talk about this shit all day long. Like we're not like in 10 years when my son graduates from high school in 10 years or 11, hopefully no later than that, we're probably not going to know anything more about UFOs, UAPs, Bigfoot, or anything than I do today. Like 10 years ago, do I know any more today than I did 10 years ago? Well, I know that the government's admitted to a lot of shit, but that doesn't mean anything. Just because you admit it doesn't mean we're going to find out about it. So I really want Bigfoot to be real, but I would love to see some hard proof. And what makes it worse is, I don't know if you guys have seen the clown on YouTube, the dog training guy who has been showing all these crazy Bigfoot specimens that he has. That guy's an asshole. Like he's I get it. He's a comedian. He's sticking to the bit, but he's spoofing legitimate people who go out and spend a ton of money looking for Bigfoot. He's being just an ass. And I'd love to see, like, with all these people like him, I know you guys got to know who I'm talking about. All these people that spoof all this shit, I want to see where their money's coming from. Like, I always see, follow the money will always lead you to the truth. And I would guarantee you, if you guys are familiar with NGOs, non-government organizations, I guarantee you there's some NGOs that finance a lot of these people in the cryptid UAP community to put out false information to make people look foolish and silly and discredit them. I think that's what's going on. And you're never going to know what's going on because there's so many bad actors, which sucks. But I think Bigfoot's probably real. I don't know what he is, though. I don't think he's an alien. I almost feel like he's like Inner Earth. If you research like Hollow Earth and shit, I think he portals. He's dimensional. I don't know. I'd love to know. I think there's a lot of really cool stories out there. There's a lot of lore, but he just goes back, Native American stuff, all that lore. I started showing with Bigfoot, all the old articles from the 1800s. Some of them are probably bullshit, but some of them are probably real. And then, the Lovelock Cave incident with giants. I believe all that's real as well. It's just like, there's a lot of these people, these archaeologists and anthropologists who are on YouTube that have academic credentials. And I guarantee you they're getting money funneled in from somebody to talk shit about these communities and discredit them. So it's just, dude, the world would be such a better place if there weren't so many assholes. It's like, I don't even get it. Like, I've been an asshole before. And I know when I'm being an asshole. I'm like, I'm being an asshole. I need to kind of dial it back. I feel guilty about it a lot. So I try to course correct. Like, these fucking people that are assholes every single day and don't care. Like, God damn. This is so brutal. I'm just like, how do you guys do it? I'm like, Jesus, it's so brutal. But yeah. Anyways, I love Bigfoot. It's a cool one. the craziest thing about Bigfoot is we never got a G.I. Joe original adventure team Bigfoot set. We had In Search Of, which I think maybe came around the end of the adventure team, but you would think that would have been right up the adventure team's alley, but we never got anything. The only cryptid we really got was a pygmy gorilla, and I don't even know if I would consider that to be a cryptid. Let's jump in the comments, see what everybody's saying. I know a lot of these guys you guys are big fans. Adam said he did a photo story of the Chupacabra a few years back. I remember that. You did. He says they're real in Arizona. I'd tell you what is real in Arizona, Adam, are rattlesnakes, because you've sent me a lot of pictures of rattlesnakes. And that looks like an unpleasant thing to encounter. James, Skinwalker Ranch is one of the weirdest places. I've listened to a lot of interviews with the guy who currently owns it. Again, man, I gotta approach everything with a degree of skepticism, because there's so many bad actors out there right now. I don't know. Like, I'll tell you what pisses me off more than anything, when these people like Lou Elizondo, who I think is a complete fraud, Christopher Mellon's a fraud. I don't know if I even believe Bob Lazar. A lot of these guys, when they go before the Congress, they claim they've been granted special access to special access programs and whatever. And then when they're asked a direct question, they say, we don't have the clearance to talk about it. What I find fascinating about that is like, why, with so many assholes in the world, if you were granted that information and you legitimately saw something you believed in, just go ahead and tell the truth. Government be damned. What do you think is going to happen? You're going to get unalived or something like that? I mean, I don't know. I think these guys are all a bunch of government scumbags lying to all of us. I think anybody who does know the truth that's not playing ball with them, they are probably taking a high dive out of an apartment window. So I don't know. Yeah, I know Major Tom, before he passed, was a big Bigfoot believer, Tim. So let's see. Oh, so Sasquatch-like creatures are in Viking sagas as well. I can see that. Yeah, maps of Antarctic coast dated 1500s, even older, and they're not discovered till 1800s. Yeah, dude. There's archives in Europe. I guarantee you, there's some wild shit in there. Go down the Tartaria wormhole sometime. Go down the Tartaria wormhole. That's a great one. Yes, we did. We don't do anything in the ocean. I don't know if this is true or not, but I think I saw somebody say that we've explored more of the solar system than our own ocean. I don't know if that's true or not. Again, this is why I can't have a conspiracy show, because I'm going to say a bunch of crazy shit and people are going to just get in the comments and call me stupid. And I'm just going to laugh at them because I don't really care. Yeah, I use asshole all the time. I'm just like, Les Stroud has a really compelling Bigfoot story. He's a total believer. He's a total believer. Let's see, Pat. Like this. Yeah, he's a total believer. I wish he could do more podcasts about that. Oh yeah, yeah. Don't even get me started on American history. There's a lot of really compelling stuff on there. The rattlesnake tastes like chicken. I'm out on snakes, man. So anyways, that was my top 5 legendary creatures. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'd love to know, I know a lot of you guys have your own lists and a lot of you guys believe in a lot of stuff like me, but it's all fun. At the end of the day, conspiracy theories, all of it's really fun. It's fun if you don't let it annoy the shit out of you. It's super fun. It's fun to talk about. It's fun to have discussions with people about, and it helps you pass the day. on especially nowadays when it seems like every single day is a new adventure in insanity. So UAP stuff, Bigfoot, cryptids, it's all fascinating. And I always tell everybody this on my streams. Definitely check out the Y Files. The Y Files, the Y Files. Adam had a really cool encounter when he was in Tennessee. That's awesome. I know Ed from Action Figs had one as well. He has a really good story about that. He told it on my live stream. But at the end of the day, it's all fun, and it's fun to have discussions. And it's a wild time to be alive. 2026 has been low key lit, and me and my wife spend a lot of time laying in bed. She's more based and grounded than I am on a lot of stuff. I'm crazy. But anyways, the Y Files. Back to the Y Files. The Y Files is a great show. He does a fantastic job of debunking certain things, but also not debunking other things. And he's got a really good series out right now called Campfire Tales, and those are always fascinating too. I like him, but there's also a vagueness to him I don't like. I don't think he gives you the full story, because a lot of them, those stories, I think can be explained with logic and reasoning. And that's when you should be super terrified, when logic and reasoning can't do things, like over the last 10 years, when people throw out logic and reasoning and, trust people you think you could trust, but maybe you shouldn't trust, then we got a real problem. So I know these last 10 years have been an exercise in, boy, I'll tell you what. I don't know. I've become a real big critic of my government, no matter who's in charge. And it's hard when you have a son who's just starting to understand things and ask you a lot of questions, and you're like, yeah, I don't like either political party very much. So I'll just stop it there. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode tonight on Sunday in the Shop. Again, apologies. I'm not going to do who's in the shop for a while. Maybe a special one on occasion, but they're a lot of work. I did love talking to everybody who came on the show, and I had some aspirations for some really cool guests, but it was just becoming gross to have to just deal with people, I think the older I get, I'll be 52 this year. The older I get, the more I just don't want to fucking deal with people. It's just like, my wife's really introverted, and I'm a super extrovert, but I'm becoming more introverted every single day because I'm just like, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Thank you everybody for tuning in. This was really fun. Obviously, if you're planning on doing Hunters of the Unknown, great. I really want you guys to. I want everybody to participate. I want this to be a really fun thing for everybody. Don't feel like you're obligated to do it, though. If you are doing it, if you're on the fence, don't take it so serious. Just don't, because it's just all fun. Just getting out there with your toys and making something cool. Look at this like an art project. Like when you're in grade school, like everybody sculpt a mask out of clay, and every mask is going to be different, and they're all going to be cool looking. I can show you a mask I made when I was in like 4th grade, and it looks like, at the time, it looks like dog shit. But if I brought it out today, there's probably some super weirdo out in California, in LA, who would buy that and use it in some fucking weird occult ritual. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the show tonight. I had a lot of fun. This is great. You guys are all great. It's been fun. We're winding down the year. Spooky season's on the way, and Hunters of the Unknown is coming. So, guys, get to work on those photo stories. Like and subscribe to the page. Hit that notification icon. If you missed the live stream tonight, rewatch it, jump in the comments, let me know what you think of it. Talk shit about me, tell me I'm stupid, or tell me I'm awesome. I don't really care. I just love hanging out with all you guys. So I guess I'll see you guys on the flip side. Keep living the adventure, and cheers, guys.